Since there aren't any New Year's parties for me to go to, I guess this time I'm going to do a little bit more unconventional makeup to celebrate the new year. I wanted to draw the New York skyline and something to look like the ball drop in Times Square. To start, I used moisturizer everywhere I planned to add makeup, then put a little bit of foundation on my face. Before starting, I searched images of the New York City skyline, and thanks to the input from a couple friends, chose this one. I knew I wanted to change into an outfit that had a slightly curved neckline, so I first drew a guideline for the bottom of the drawing. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it was helpful later on. I wanted the Statue of Liberty to be closer to the center, so I started with that near my neck. To sketch it all out, I used liquid eyeliner so that it wouldn't smudge when I added the colors for the sky. It makes it easier when I have to fill in the skyline later, since I can still see some of the outline. Now we can speed through the rest of my tedious sketching. Once I have the rough outline, I take a sponge and add white cream body paint to the area where the sky is going to be. I did this initially planning to use eyeshadow for the sky, but I decided to mix cream body paints together for the colors. This was the moment I realized I forgot to use moisturizer on my neck. I tried to get a few clean lines with a brush, but that didn't matter much since later I used a sponge to add color. I started with purple that I mixed with some black to make it darker as a base color. In the end, it wasn't as noticeable as I would have liked, but there were a few spots where it did show through. On top of that, I used blue cream makeup that I also mixed with some black, but I wasn't loving the color, so I added more black, then more blue, and ultimately decided to just wing it and hope the mix of colors looked good enough. Using a brush, I painted in the skyline with black cream makeup, which we can also speed through. For details, I took liquid eyeliner and drew the lines on the bridge. Moving on to my face, where I drew the ball drop, I used a pencil eyeliner to sketch a circle around my eye and a line above and below to show that it had started to go down. Then I took a few seconds to mentally plan out how to write 2021 backwards and sketched that under the bottom line. Using my finger, I filled the circle in with white cream makeup. For this to last longer and not smudge into non-existence, you should definitely add primer first. Something that I didn't do. With the same sponge I used to add the blue color to the sky on my chest, I applied the color around my eye and blended out the edges. Using liquid eyeliner, I outlined the circle again and added triangles and shapes to decorate the ball. Then I took a brush to go over the lines at the top and bottom, as well as the ear, with black cream makeup to make them more noticeable. With another brush, I added white dots to look like lights on the numbers. For my other eye, I used a glittery gold eyeshadow on my lid, a dark brown eyeshadow on my crease, and a light tan color on my brow bone. This was also around the time my memory card filled up and I had to search for an extra in my room before coming back to finish this. I used liquid eyeliner to do a winged look and added some mascara. Part of the original plan was to add fireworks, but the colors just ended up smudging too much. Instead, I took a brush and added white dots for stars and blended them out a bit with the same sponge from earlier so they wouldn't look like polka dots. Then I finished the look with some red lipstick. I also added some dots around my eye and blended them out too. Happy New Year! I just want to say congrats on making it through 2020. I hope that you enjoyed the last bit of the holiday season. I'm Crystal Campos, and thanks for having stuck with me through this part of 2020. And I hope that you continue to join me off air.